sorry.
Go ahead, please start.
Hello, once again, I'm Mac, and this is Refocusing Barbados. The Daily Nation seem to have started a trend. I've been watching it for the past few weeks, that it has reserved its back page for some of the most outrageous comments that you can ever hear or read. And I am looking at the article at the back of the Monday Daily Nation of May the 4th, where it says, on right path, Minister of Finance not fazed by IMF's gloomy forecast. The writer is the reporter is Trevor Urine. I'm not saying he's a journalist, because as I've gone through the entire article, I realized that he is just reporting. So I refer to him as a reporter. But there's a particular comment in this article that I want to focus on this evening. And that comment starts on paragraph 7 and ends at paragraph 8. And I want to read it for you. He said it was, and I'm quoting, a little unfortunate and in some instances unreasonable to try to compare Barbados with other countries given factors including their difference in size, resources, and stage of development. What might be 2% growth somewhere might translate to 1% here, he pointed out. Boy. If ever there was a donkey statement, this is it. And this is all the more reason why I've been calling for his removal. And this is all the more reason why he is not suited for this job. So, by his reasoning then, if 100 students pass for 11 plus in Barbados, given the different factors including different size, resources, stage of development, that means probably United States that's only 50. You see the gibberish that this minister is talking? And you have someone like this in the Ministry of Finance, who is the Minister of Finance, who can have this type of reasoning. Is there any wonder why we're having such serious difficulties in our country with our economy? This is real nonsense. This is pure bilge. What kind of reason could this be? And as if growth is not growth. Growth is growth wherever it comes from. So 2% growth in Barbados is still 2% growth in Barbados. You do not translate your growth from Barbados to a transfer or translate from Barbados to another country. That's not the way it's done. So I don't understand this kind of donkey reasoning. I said donkey here. I said donkey reasoning. Don't run off the bat and say, Mac said the minister is this and that. I said this reason is donkey reasoning. And it sounds more like go talk to me than anything else. This is real nonsense. And yet still he is presiding over our lives. This man is presiding over the future of thousands of people in this country. And with a mindset like that and a reason like that, it's no wonder we are in such a bind and we can't get out. No wonder that he sets targets and he cannot attain his own targets because of the kind of reasoning like this. And we are supposed to digest this foolishness that he is giving to us. 1%, 2% here, maybe 1% there. What nonsense that is? If you're a millionaire in Barbados, you're a millionaire. You are a millionaire Chris Sinclair. So I don't understand the foolishness. But you see, when I contrast that to what I heard a few weeks ago at ICAB's lecture at the Hilton Hotel, it tells me that we are at a place where we need to look at ourselves again. Now, I was at that lecture, and Mr. Arthur gave the lecture that evening, and he gave a lecture and he really analyzed for us the Barbados economy. And he offered solutions, and the solutions that he offered really made a lot of sense. And judging from listening to him carefully, there seemed to be very little pain associated with his solutions. If you take the Chris Sinclair path, you will have pain. There's no doubt about it, because there's nothing that Chris Sinclair has ever done in relation to this economy that hasn't produced pain. Mr. Arthur is suggesting a solutions that will not impact us negatively but positively. And that's the genius of the man who has led us for 14 years. This is what he proposed: selling off assets, restructuring the debt, and tax reforms, offering tax incentives to persons towards their children's education and to their health care costs. Note, you contrast that with Mr. Sinclair, the President Minister of Finance, you realize there's nothing in there which calls for increased taxation. But, you know, there's something very unfortunate about this situation. Mr. Arthur is a man without a party. That's very unfortunate at this time. That's the most unfortunate thing. Because here is a man that had he been in a party setting, we could have said to him, look, come, we want you to help us pull this around. You have done it before, you're capable, come do it. He's a man for the party. And then it's very difficult for us to benefit from his leadership and his expertise and that kind of thing. But we are such a serious mess that this is something we have to look at as a people. We've got to put aside the politics, because it's the politics of 2013 that has brought us here. The politics of 2008 that got us in this mess in the first place. And what I'm looking at is, could we, for a brief period of our history, decide to take a different course, where we look at where we are at and what is required to take us out, and call upon some of the best minds in our society and say to them, look, come, we need a collaborative effort here, come together and pull us out of this. I don't see it happening at the party level, because Mr. Stewart didn't want me to say this, but the lackeys and the, you know, he don't want to use those kind of terms such as yard foes, you understand? But those people would, you know, they would want to step in and you know, and try to make things for themselves. We have to take this thing very, very seriously, because we are in a bad mess. We cannot play politics with our lives anymore, because, you know, what has happened over the past 7 years has produced nothing but pain, and it comes out of the political culture that we have allowed to develop in this country. We need to put that aside for a period of time and say, look, let us deal with ourselves. You know, we never thought about that. We need Mr. Arthur's experience. At this difficult period, yes, we need the man's experience. And more than anything else, we need to remember what Mr. Arthur is capable of. People ask me, why were you always talking about Mr. Arthur? I said, look up there. Look at the two parties, right? When you look at the two parties, he's the only person that's outside those two parties that we can call upon and say, look, come. You're the one person who has the experience, who has the ability, you have the knowledge and the expertise to help us out of this. Come. There's nobody in the Barbados Labour Party, for sure. There's nobody in the Democratic Labour Party who has the experience and the expertise and the knowledge base like Mr. Arthur to do it. And he has a proven track record. For 14 years. For 14 years. Our taxes are relatively low. But there's one thing that I've heard people say over and over and over and over. The great feature of Mr. Owen Arthur's leadership and tenure in office was people had money in their pockets. And that's what it's all about. People having money in their pockets that they can look after themselves, they can look after their children, they can pay their bills and pay for the say something for their children's education. That is what it's all about. It's not about tearing off the pockets off of people's pants and snatching people's bags off their shoulders to carry all the money and to rape the country. It has nothing to do with Mr. Arthur has made sure that Barbadians had money in their pockets. The tourism industry was booming. Construction was booming. Vendors were doing well. This is what we need to look at. And stop playing the political game that we are playing now. The man who is best suited for the job, give him the job. But what I'm calling for, a lot of people wouldn't want to accept. I know that. What it would require for him to be in this place, a lot of people don't want because they're jostling for power and position. It would require that we have an interim administration, and I've said this repeatedly, and I'm going to say it again. We need an interim administration. And we get a good team of persons together who can pull this country out of the hole and leave the politics aside for at least 5 years to get us going again. That is what is required. So that small businesses can start to develop again. Small businesses can become medium-sized businesses, and medium-sized businesses can become large businesses. That is the way how the economy ought to function. And there's one good thing about it, Mr. Kevin Simpson. You'll be able to sell more new cars again. That's for sure. Don't forget that. You know, one of the thing that I took away from Mr. Arthur's lecture was this. He was focused on saving this country. Look at the two political parties and what they've been saying about the economy. The Dems are about crisis management because they're having a crisis after crisis, crisis in education, crisis in healthcare, crisis in the economy. They're in crisis mode. They're trying to manage their crisis. Crisis after crisis. The Barbados Labour Party has not put forward any solutions, and I don't foresee that they will put forward any solutions anytime soon. One person has put forward solutions which make common sense, and that's Mr. Arthur. Now give the man a chance, man. Stop dilly-dallying. Give Mr. Arthur a chance. Talk to the boss man. Let me get together and deal with this. You can imagine 3 more years with the debts and downgrade after downgrade after downgrade. You can imagine 3 more years with the gangs? And people losing the roofs over their heads? And so many people crying out that they can't feed their families? And so many men out there before work who are being emasculated by this crisis? Who are unable to take care of their families and be men in their families, in their homes? That needs to stop and stop right now. Don't waste no time. I know they ain't gonna like to hear me say this, but I'm gonna say it because it needs to be said. We got to stop this government from doing the foolishness they've been doing for so long. And they ain't gonna stop unless we stop them. We got to stop them. That's all I need to say. For now, let me back. Thank you very much. This has been Refocusing Barbados. And I'm Matt.